A little technical glitch. We were trying to upload another video, but that was absolutely awesome. The comments, I don't know if you could see them or not, but they were going bonkers. Here's what you guys need to understand about Tanya. She's all about simple. She's about systems, and she truly, genuinely cares and loves on her people. Like that's all. If that's all you got from it, I mean, I'm saying that's what Tanya's all about. She mentioned the words customer service so many times, but this is why I feel she's one of the top earners. She doesn't just sign up a customer and then say, okay, great, got your product, smell you later. Like she's in there loving on them, inviting them into her social, into her Facebook group, into her family setting. And this is why folks continue to buy from her every single month, right? Which in our profession creates a nice, I think the word is residual. I think that's awesome. So T, thank you so much for taking some time to share with our folks today. Drop her some love, some hearts down in the comment section. I think Mr. Rob's going to come back on now and introduce our next speaker. Rob, let's go, man. I'm loving this event. People are fired up. We got about 47,000 notifications on our socials, but this has been so awesome.
It's just so fun to see the different ways people have success, right? You got Tanya over here, like queen of systems. You got other people over there just winging it, where they're just all out, just, you know, massive energy as they go. And that's what we said. You guys are going to find like the styles that fit with you. And I love how she just systematized the whole follow-up process, because we know the fortune's in the follow-up. So as we keep going here, we get to bring on another friend. I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. So we're going to bring on our next guest here, Cindy, right? It's been too long since we hung out. Last time I hung out, right, was the mastermind in Florida, where you showed me that you can do crazy cool accents for fun when you and Dana were being super silly, Dr. Dana, and having some fun. And that's when we got to see that side. But let's do rapid fire here. How long you been in the profession?
8 years.
8 years. Give me one of your favorite movies of all time.
I'll go with the silly one, Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Oh, I thought you were going to go with Coach Brian Fryer's favorite one, Mean Girls, but I guess you went another direction as we go. I can throw him under the bus because he's not on stage right now. So, okay. Oh, get on stage, man. Come on. So 8 years in the profession. How long did it take you to hit that 6-figure annual mark?
3 months.
What? I knew it was fast, but still, I want everyone else to hear. Absolutely mind-blowing. And the cool part is she's still the ability to learn how to learn. She's always learning. So I'm excited because we're going to talk a little pyramid scheme, pyramid dealio, right? When someone's like, is that one of those pyramid schemes? I've been having fun doing reels on that lately, because that's like a fun question where I teach people what not to say. But we're excited. So give us the good stuff. I'll take myself off. Give us the goods, as you always do. Thank you so much for being on, legend.
Thank you, Rob. I don't really know if that's my favorite movie anymore, but I will tell you, back in college, I watched it all the time. So it just kind of jumped into my mind. And I don't seem to watch very many movies anymore. I think parenting has taken over movie time. So I'm going to jump in to what I kind of call the network marketing objection. And that's the misconception that network marketing is a pyramid scheme. So it's obviously a misconception, but let's debunk that myth and kind of go through why it's a misconception. So when anybody's starting in network marketing, or through any point in your journey in network marketing, we sometimes talk about what our core beliefs are. And when you have a core belief that's low, that is the area that people can sort of disconnect, or maybe not feel as though they're confident in joining you because there's something that you're not giving them confidence in. So what are the different kind of areas that you need to have belief in? So one of them, when you join network marketing, is that you're joining a company that you're aligned with. You have to believe in the company that you're a part of. And these are no particular order. Another one is you have to have belief in the product. You have to believe in what the product or service is that you're sharing. If you don't believe in it, your person's not going to believe in it. Third one is belief in yourself. You have to believe that you can make a difference in this industry, that you can succeed in this industry, because if you don't believe it, do you think people are going to want to join you? And then the last one is, what is your belief in the industry as a whole? And that's the industry of network marketing. And that is the idea of what this industry does or doesn't do. And that's where people fake pyramid schemes. So I want to kind of put that all together for you so that you can see that when somebody believes that this industry is a scheme of any sort, that's one of like 4 major core beliefs that you have to have, and they have to be a 10. Because if your belief isn't a 10, you have to work on and focus your energy on getting your belief level to be there, to be at a 10, so that when you're having conversations, you can speak to somebody and overcome whatever it is the objection is that they're holding on to. So overcoming the concept of a pyramid scheme is actually pretty easy to do because it's not true, right? So there's a lot of things where it's like subjective, like, do I feel that way? Do I not feel that way? Do I believe in myself? Do I believe in my product? Like, those are things that might take, some logical reasoning. But is this industry an industry where more millionaires are created than any industry out there? Is this an industry where you're selling a viable product or service? Like, there are questions that are facts. Like, this is not Cindy's opinion today is that this is not a network. This is not a pyramid scheme. Network marketing is not a pyramid scheme. No, I'm telling you an actual fact, right? So let's go through that. So first of all, when you're talking to people, embrace the conversation. You don't want awkward silences. So if somebody has an idea that it's a pyramid scheme for whatever reason, okay, just because they might not be right, it doesn't mean that they don't need to be heard. But the problem is if they're uncomfortable and they don't really talk about the objection, and the objection never really comes out, you never have an opportunity to actually overcome the objection. So getting someone to talk to you and to actually tell you, hey, this is what I'm feeling, like this is where I'm at, that gives you an opportunity to actually educate them the right way. If you aren't in a space to educate them the right way, they're going to walk away and they're not going to join you. And they might never join network marketing, or they might join someone else either in your company or in a completely different company that gave them the confidence and the belief that they're the person to join, that they're the person to help them get places in their life that maybe they can't get on their own. Why? Because they overcame the objection. So make sure if someone has an objection that you're comfortable talking about it, embracing it, and getting to the bottom of it. So what's a pyramid scheme? Let's just talk about that. First of all, there's what's a pyramid and there's what's a pyramid scheme. And one thing that I've kind of found throughout my journey in network marketing is that there are times that people confuse the two. Like, a pyramid and a pyramid scheme are not the same. So we're going to talk about both, but a pyramid scheme has no real product sold. Okay, there's no product in a pyramid scheme. Participants attempt to make money by recruiting others. And if you're doing that, run. I don't think anyone is doing that because that's not what network marketing is. But if anyone's doing that in any part of their life, we wouldn't condone that. So a scheme is not what we do. Everyone here is in the business of helping people, whether it's through your amazing product, whether it's through your amazing service, whatever you're doing, you are genuinely helping people. Okay, so there's no scheme when you have something that you're helping people with. So let's just kind of debunk that. My background, I want to talk a little bit about my sales background and on what my background is as far as companies that build with a pyramid style. Okay, so we already said this is not a pyramid scheme because there's no scheme when you're helping somebody with a real product or a real service. But now I want to talk about what it is to be part of a company and what a pyramid might look like. So my background before coming into the network marketing space was in corporate America. I worked in a lot of companies in sales management where I was in charge of bringing revenue to a company. So part of my job in bringing revenue to a company, my income would be in basically like the amount of revenue that I would bring would be a direct reflection of the income that I would make. So what does that mean? It means I had to bring on more high quality people if I wanted to elevate my own income. Wow. Does that make it a scheme? No. It makes it corporate America, where the job of somebody in a corporate job is to have their company be profitable. So let's take, for example, any kind of organization where, say you're at a grocery store. Do you think the person that's sitting there at the front, like the greeter, saying hi to everybody, welcoming everybody, is the highest paid position? Do you think that maybe if that person gets promoted and they get some more skills under their belt and they start working at the register and they're helping people, that maybe it's a little pay raise? And then maybe they get promoted again and maybe they're a lead cashier and maybe now they're managing some other cashiers. Maybe they keep working their way up and they're an assistant manager. Maybe they're a store manager. And then they start really having success. And maybe they're a district manager and they manage multiple stores. And maybe then they get into the corporate side of it where one day they're a CEO or president of a company. Do you think those people sitting at the top are making less money than the people that are at the cashier? No, they're not. And is that bad, or is that the dream that we all have? Like, do we look up to the person at the top and say, I want that position? Like, do we spend our lives like trying to get a job that, you know, allows us room for growth and allows us room for growth in a corporate ladder? And do all your friends and family and people you know and colleagues, and are they looking at you like congratulating you when you go up this corporate ladder? Or are they looking at you like, oh, they're moving up, that's bad, that must be like some sort of a scheme, they're getting promoted? Of course not, right? So what is different about network marketing? Now let's talk about that, because if there's anything that's a pyramid, it's the corporate world that we live in. Network marketing, there is an element of this where I can see how it's relatable. And the element is that you bring in better people. The more high quality people you bring in, the better your check's going to be. But isn't that the whole point of what we're trying to do here by not trading our time for dollars and not only collecting a linear income, but actually creating a residual income? Like, isn't that what we're here to do? To bring in high quality people? The difference here is that that person can pass you right on up if they have a better structure in their business, if they're more engaged, if they're bringing on more customers, more partners, helping more people. That is the opposite of a pyramid, right? So if someone's actually asking you, like, break down the concept of a pyramid, the positive is absolutely we get paid on a leveraged income. We can create something that if I stop working, like in my corporate world, if I stop working today, guess what? My paycheck, bye. Doesn't matter how much money I made that company while I was working there. When I stopped working there, my paycheck stopped as well. With network marketing, you can build something for the long game. So if you're talking to somebody about the concept of a pyramid, well, there's an element of this pyramid that I really want, which is the ability to work in a leveraged space where I can create an income stream for myself and my family. How are you going to create generational wealth if you have to always be working? Like, one day you might want to not do that anymore, and that's okay, right? That's part of the dream. So let's change the conversation so when we're talking to people, we can talk really loud and proud and say, this is what it looks like. These are the advantages. And also, if you're a harder worker than me and you're more leveraged than me, guess what? You can outrank me, outperform me. But the good news is that that's a good thing. The good news here is that if you recruit the best of the best of the best, you never have to worry, I wonder if that person's going to take my job. I wonder if that person's going to pass me up, because they're not. That's the benefit. We all work together. So instead of a corporate job where maybe you're fearing somebody coming in and being uber successful, here you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. My people are better than me. They know more than me about the product, the industry. They're more talented than me. Whatever it is, like, that's the dream, to surround yourself with people that lift you up and help you, you know, play big, right? And like play to the max. So the answer to all of this is to treat your business like it is a business. When you are having conversations with people, make sure you own it. Don't sit there and be weird and like, oh, I'm not selling anything, and I'm not this, and I'm not, I'm not. Like, own it. Talk about it the same way you would if you were getting the dream job of a lifetime in the corporate world, because now you have the dream job of a lifetime in an entrepreneur world. And if you put $1 million into this business to start up, what would you be doing? Like, how would you play full out if you had $1 million on the line? The biggest problem is that when people come into this and there's very little, if any, investment into their business, and so it's okay if they fail. Well, if you take on that mentality, you're going to fail. But if you just treat this as though you put that $1 million, you opened up the biggest franchise of your life, and you treat it that way every single day, you're going to have a ton of success, and you're going to be the CEO of your own business, and you're going to be getting all kinds of love from everyone that's going to respect you when you can have a conversation, you can share it, and you can genuinely tell them that, hey, that's fine if you want to choose this corporate path. That's fine if you see this and that's your vision. Here's the vision that I have, and here's why. So your posture and how you talk about this is everything. You have to obviously believe in the industry, believe in yourself, believe in the ability to have success here. Surround yourself with other people that also lift you up and that believe in this space. Have a posture and confidence when you're talking to people, and then welcome the objections, because the truth is there's no scheme in this at all. And the real pyramid is more so in corporate America than it is here. But what we get is the ability to have some time freedom and the ability to help other people. And when we raise them up, if you're going to call that a pyramid, then I want to be part of that pyramid all day long. So thank you so much for joining today. And I'm happy that I was able to jump in and train with you guys.
Yeah, I love how you broke it down too, the difference between the two, because, right, like there's pyramid structure and then there's pyramid scheme, and the difference. And it's just a lot of times, right, we just ask simple questions. Sometimes their opinion isn't bad when we say, hey, what's your definition of a pyramid? They're like, oh, just that, you have opportunity to build a team and make money from that team. And sometimes we just get so defensive as we go. So Cindy, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate your perspective. I'm going to give you guys a bad example really quick. I did this on a reel of what not to say. Don't say this. We're just having a little bit of fun because of my ADHD. So don't ever say this. So if someone says, is that a pyramid scheme? I did do this a couple times. It didn't work, but I laughed. Was it worth the laugh? When someone says, is this a pyramid scheme? Oh, yes, of course it's a pyramid scheme. I love doing illegal things. What's going to happen is we're going to make a ton of money. We're going to stash your money in the Cayman Islands where they can't touch it. You're going to go to prison for about 5 years, but when you get out, we're going to be filthy rich together. And then you got to look at them with a straight face like this. Just sit there. You got to pause. Those 3 seconds are going to feel like eternity for you, but for them especially. And then you're like, no, of course not. I don't do illegal things. I wouldn't bring illegal things to you. Things not to do, things not to say. With that, I'm just going to take myself off because I shouldn't have said that, Coach Fryer, but we got to have a little bit of fun. Things not to say in script.
For all in favor of Rob being a comedian also in his spare time, vote aye down in the comment section. Love it. The only thing I would add to that, Rob, is at the very end, right when you get a straight face, is to just say, would you like my link? I think that would have just kind of sealed the deal there, right? And all that good stuff. Shout out to Cindy. Way to go, Cindy. Just a quick recap. A couple things I wrote down. Treat your business like a business. Own it, right? Assume like you invested $1 million to start your network marketing business. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd be waking up every single day and owning it, right? Okay. And then don't try, do. She gave you guys a ton of examples of how to handle the pyramid objections. So fired up. We're continuing along, guys. You guys having some fun? Real quick, on a scale of 1 to 10 in the comments, 1 being this is like you're not having fun at all. You got 0 value. A 10 in the comments if you're like, holy smokes. I can't believe how much I paid. Like, this is crazy. This is awesome, right? Come on, show them some love down in the comment section. Our next speaker, the one and only Brittany Beck. She's going to be talking a little bit about how to reach out to new folks, right? The indirect way. And I want to just say something real quick before I bring her up on stage is, right, Rob and I talk a lot about how, not one way, fits all, right? If you're more the type of person you like to be a little bit more upfront, a little bit more direct, go crush it. If you're someone who likes to build a little rapport and a relationship first and build some trust, go crush it. There's no right or wrong, right? There are different ways to do this business. And what I love most about Brittany, she's another one of the top income earners in the entire profession. I've been fortunate enough to get to know her team over the last couple of years. Like, you want to just talk about just when I think about like a strong, fearless leader, right? Who no matter what obstacle, challenge is thrown her way, she figures out a way to overcome. But again, she leads by example. And she's going to talk to you guys a little bit today about the indirect way to reach out to folks. Brittany, thanks so much for being here. You got the stage.
Thank you so much. So excited to be here, you guys. Thank you to Rob and Brian. I really appreciate you guys and your leadership. So I want to talk a little bit about the indirect approach to new people. So the purpose of this is to open the door, make the ask. This is a little bit of a less pressury way. So if you are the type of person where it's like, I love connecting with people and I love helping people and I love impacting people, but I don't want to come across as this pressury, like direct person. It's like, hey, take a look at what I got. This may be like the best approach for you. So this is about opening the door. This is about educating people in my opinion, a less pressury way, but it also could lead to some new leads for you. So I'm gonna talk about that as well. And this is, you're not asking them to look, you're asking them if they have anyone that they know that may be interested. So that's the way it works. So Really quickly, where do you find these new people? So that's something that I get asked a lot is, where do I find new people? If you're brand new to the industry, you may be like, okay, she's saying new people, but I mean, where would I even find people? So just really quickly, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, TikTok, those are some great ways. Facebook interest groups, hashtags on Instagram, just finding things that you can connect on. Even when you're opening the door with new people, if you've got like something that you guys connect on, that's going to definitely help you so that you can actually start building a relationship. So again, these are new people that we're talking about here, but finding some sort of form of connection early on is going to be great. It helps you build relationships. So I also like to warm up my cold leads. So I'm not the type of person that's super high pressure, go in for the kill. That's not who I am. So that's not what works for me. That works for you, great. For me, I like to warm up my leads by asking questions. And I know you guys have heard this before, ask questions. So sometimes you get in your head and you're like, well, I don't even know what questions to ask. This is so awkward. I know Fraser Brooks has trained on this before, but he uses like the form method. So if you haven't heard this before and you're new, form, you ask questions revolving around family. Like, do you have kids? Are you married? Those kinds of questions. Opportunity, job, what do you do now? Recreation, fun. So FORM, family, opportunity, job, recreation. What do you do for fun? And then M is for like mission or goals. What's something that you care about? So I'm just trying to give you just some lead into this script of where do you find people and how do you warm people up? How do you build relationships? These are going to help. And they're going to be asking you the same thing as you're building relationships. So you're going to have some common ground, some common interests there. And then you can use these to leverage later. So as we go through the script process, you can use these things to leverage. If they say that they love to travel and you're asking questions and you're like, well, when's the last trip you took? Where did you go? And they're like, I love traveling. Yes, it's definitely something I do for fun. Haven't actually took a trip in 3 years. Then, again, you don't like hit them. Like you just put in the back of your mind, okay, they like to travel. They haven't been able to travel. Well, why have you not taken a trip in 3 years? I literally just do not have the extra money right now. Times are tough. You just put that away. And so that you can use these things as pain points, and not in a negative way or a malicious way or anything like that, but literally to connect with them. And you may be the missing piece to their puzzle. You may have the answers of what they're looking for. So I always think about that and try to find out what they're struggling with so that you can provide a solution. So indirect. All right, here's the script. So what you're going to do is you're going to disqualify them. And I know some people are like, oh my gosh, I can never. Literally just asking them but taking it away is going to do something psychologically where they think, why is she not thinking about me? Why couldn't I do this? And I know I do have an accent. I see all the comments. Yes, I am super country. I'm originally from Alabama. But so you're disqualifying them, but you're still making the ask. And what it does is it usually leads to them being like, what about me? So let me give you the script. All right, look, Sarah, I value the relationship we've been building. I know what I do might not be the right fit for you. Do you know anyone who might be looking for a way to make some extra money by utilizing social media? So I teach social media. So that's what I say. You may say, by having parties or whatever, or getting face-to-face or doing some fun things there. So again, look, Sarah, I value the relationship we've been building. I know what I do might not be the right fit for you, taking it away, disqualifying them. But do you know anyone who might be looking for a way to make some extra money by utilizing social media? They probably know a lot of people. But what they're going to say is, well, what about me? Yeah, me. What about me? Okay. So there's one or two things there that this is going to go. They are either saying, what about me? Or they may actually say, yeah, what you do isn't for me, but I actually do know some people. My daughter just got into college. She definitely loves social media. She needs some. So that's where I'm saying you might end up not closing them but they may actually open up their, if you've done a great job of connecting and building relationships, they may open that door and bring you leads like legitimately. You can also pare that down too and be more specific. Like instead of saying, do you know anyone who might be looking? You might say, do you know any hairdresser in your area that might be looking? Do you know anyone that just got into college that might be looking? Do you know anyone that lives in Alabama that might be looking? So that just jogs their memory. So they actually start thinking of people. So that's something you could do. And then also you don't have to say make money. If you are a product first, I like to share the business, but if you are so into your products, this would also work. Just switch it out with products. Like I value the relationship we've been building. Look, I know what I do may not be the right fit for you, but do you know anyone looking for a way to increase their energy, to have more time with their kids, or increase their, appetite control so that they can lose a few pounds? Do you know anyone? This is also a good way too, because I know people do not like, women, put this in the comments. I cannot stand when someone asks me, are you looking to lose a few pounds? Do not say that to people, right? But you could say, if you know anyone who might be looking to lose a few pounds. If you ask me that, then I'll be like, well, what about me? I'm looking to lose a few pounds, right? So that's another way you can indirectly use this to actually get the answer you're looking for, but without offending people. So again, you can change that up. And then I want to add one more caveat on here too. When we say new people, these could be new cold leads that you're finding people and building relationships, but it could be a new person that you just haven't had the courage to approach. You haven't had the courage to actually reach out to, your boss or your neighbor who's super successful. You can use this script for those as well, where you say like, look, Sarah, I know you're a super successful businesswoman and I value your opinion. I know what I do may not be a right fit for you, but do you know anybody that might be looking for a way to make some extra money? So that would be opening the door for someone who you look up to and respect. They may not be new, but they might be new to this conversation for you. So you can use that as well and just say like, I value your opinion. I respect you. Would you mind taking a look and see, if you know anybody? And if they say, yeah, that's me, actually me, or yes, I know somebody, then it would be, okay, great. If I send you a super short video to check out so that you know what your contacts will be seeing, will you take a chance to look at it or whatever? And that's what you want to do. So again, you're opening the door, you're trying to educate them indirectly. And then by the time they look at it, they watch your video, you've pointed them to tools. They might be like, I was going to just share my sister and my daughter with you, but this is something that sounds good for me too. Maybe we could all do it together. So again, pointing to tools, educating them, open the door. That's the point of this indirect approach, and not doing it and not having to feel so pressury, like I'm going to get you, you know what I mean? So this is something that works really well for me. And then again, just to wrap this up, if they do say that they're open to watching the video or taking a look at it to check it out to see what their contacts would see, schedule a time to follow up. I know we just heard from the follow-up queen, but putting it in your calendar and scheduling it, and not just saying, okay, well, when you get time, watch it. Okay. Instead, if you say, okay, well, the video is literally 5 minutes, so tell me when you'll have 5 minutes free in your calendar so that I know when to send it. And if they say, I have 5 minutes right now, or I'll have 5 minutes when I get off work at 6, then you say, okay, at 6, I'm going to send it and I'll follow up with you around 6:30. You should have time to watch it. You'll have watched it by then, right? And they're going to say, yeah. So it actually holds them accountable to actually watch the video too. So that's something that if you want to be a professional, professionals actually schedule follow-up. They schedule meetings. They schedule that next step. So that's something that I would definitely do so that you can work on closing people a little bit better. So that's all I have for you guys. Hopefully you've got some value from this. Thank you so much, Rob and Brian, for letting me share.
Hey, what an important topic though, because again, we all have different personalities. I remember doing a study on this, that sounds really, really cool, but it was actually just a poll, but it was from people that were serious in network marketing. And it was interesting. I think it was about 60% of people didn't want to approach people in the first conversation that had success. And that just told me that there is no one size fits all. If a leader upline tells you, you better approach someone right away, I'm just going to tell you my personal opinion is they're dead wrong. But if someone tells you you have to wait for 4 conversations, they're wrong as well. It's their style. You got to figure out, and that's why we split test as well. And so, you going through that, and I took some notes, and I love how, you find the struggle, but then you disqualify. And it's such a great question to ask, saying things like, this may not be the right fit for you, but who do you know? And then you fill in, like you said, that's interested in learning how to generate money utilizing our social media system, in your own words, right? Or on social media. And that's just super cool. So Brittany, appreciate you, friend. Thanks for coming on. We're going to keep going here. Fast and furious has been our style with my wonderful ADHD as we go. And like I said, these are TED Talks on steroids. I just want to put in perspective, when you have leaders like these that are in the 1% of the 1% that have created, many of them, like our next leader, hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. Like, that's just phenomenal. It doesn't happen. They come on and give you free content. Here is the issue, is a lot of times we take it for granted, and many times we don't put it into action. You've got to put it into action. The beginning, that's why we talked about split testing. Just test different variations of these things to find your own uniqueness and your own style and your own personality. But one of the most important conversations for scripts is talking about transitioning customers to reps, right? Like, what do we say? How do I say it? How do I do this? And so with our next incredible speaker that we're going to bring on, she literally legit is like a sister to me. I know, same to Coach Fryer. Every single time we go to events like GoPro, Coach Fryer, and even go to the women's GoPro. Why? Because we were some of the only guys, because the vast majority of this profession are women. We would hang out with Rachel. And I know many of you guys know Rachel, have heard of Rachel, but I just think, and I've had her speak in my masterminds, I just think she's one of the best trainers, even though I know she's building a business out there, because you always break things down. Like, I remember when you were in Maui, like, you were given how you do challenge and blitzes, and I still have it in my notes. Like, it's like perfect, like 12 steps. I'm like, wait, that's way better than I teach it. So I did give you credit the first 2 times. I may have forgotten after that, you know the rule. So I'm really, really sorry. But thanks so much for coming on and making time, superstar, to share with everybody your secret sauce. I did say secret sauce. Tips and strategies.
Oh, I love it, Rob. Thank you so much. And I got to say, when Brian was introducing, I think it was Tanya, and calling her the sister from another mister, I was offended, Coach. I was really emotional. I thought that was my name. And so we're going to have a conversation later, brother from another mother. I didn't know we were one big happy family. Tanya, welcome. Welcome to the BBB Club. Okay, guys, how are you doing here today? We got about a few minutes, and I want to give you a tactic, a script, and a mindset that is going to totally flip the way that you use a funnel for your customers to become your new associates, your new distributors, and to expose, involve, and upgrade them through the process. Over the last 10 or so years, I've enrolled thousands of people online. And the last 6.5 years specifically, I want to let you guys know that I am one that kind of leads with the product. So I tell the whole story of my company. We're in health and wellness. So I tell the story of the product, and I also tell the story of the business. But I'll tell you that I also, I really love our products, and I kind of geek out on them. And I feel like in this day and age, in 2022, we are in a consumer-driven, customer-focused economy. If you guys understand this, drop a 1 in the chat. If you guys understand that everything in the industry is shifting to customer acquisition, sampling, trialing, driving up customer bases, where I think 10 years ago, Rob, Brian, that having one distributor for every customer was really normal. And now we're seeing companies that have 5 customers for every distributor, 10 customers, 20 customers, or more for every active distributor. The rise of e-commerce is changing this. And so if you guys go to a customer-driven focus, you do not have to sacrifice distributors. And in fact, your customers are your biggest, absolute biggest pool of potential prospects. I'm going to tell you guys why here in just a second and give you guys the script. First and foremost, if you guys have not yet gone to ultimatescriptsbook.com, you guys got to go and get that book here today. How many guys, drop a 2 in the chat if you guys have already secured in your order for the book of the Ultimate Scripts book. I'll tell you, Rob and Brian, that when I got started, I was as smooth as a stucco bathtub. Like, I was awful. If you had been there, my first 30 days in business, I was doing 2 to 6 presentations a day. And in my first 30 days, I signed up 0 people. Absolutely 0 people. I had no idea what to say. I had no idea how to say it. I was a 21-year-old platinum blonde chick who was working in retail. And I was just kind of hair on fire. And I was wildly, absolutely pathetically miserable at converting people because I didn't have the scripts. I didn't know how to move somebody from a conversation to a tool. I didn't know how to get somebody off of social media. I didn't know any of these scripts. And I remember like our last speaker sorry, I was just preparing my notes, that she was mentioning about the pyramid objection. I didn't know how to handle that. So you guys got to go and get that book right now. Anything that Rob and Brian put out, to make sure that you guys are buying it. I do all their things, all their courses, been to the masterminds. I send my teams now. It's amazing. Okay, there are 2 types of network marketers right now. Let's dive into this. Those that get customers and treat them like a transaction, and those that get customers and treat them like a doorway. So my question to you, are your customers right now a transaction? And I get it. It's exciting. You made a sale. You got a PV. Maybe you're getting a bonus. Maybe you're hitting a pool or getting points for an incentive trip. And you think, okay, wham, bam, thank you, man. You're done. And I think in a lot of corporate environments or in direct sales, which is different than network marketing, you're right. You're just retailing it all out. Every one of your customers, guys, write this down in the chat, type in doorway. Every one of your customers is a doorway to an existing network of people that you wouldn't have access to. The average person now knows over 2,000 people when you include their social media. And so if you knew that every person that bought your juice or your gel or your protein or your patch, your lotion or potion, right? Or notion, that they could be a potential doorway to 2,000 people, how would you treat them differently? We had a great speaker earlier. Would you follow up better post-sale? Yes or yes, guys, in the chat. Would you follow up better? Would you send them a thank you card? Would you send them free products? One of the things I do, Rob and Brian, that I think helps with my this script is we might get somebody on our core flagship products. We have 3 of them. They come in a bundle, a little tri-pack. But we have other products that are very demonstrative. And so I will send those products that are actually edible, they're consumable, and I'll send them samples and just say, hey, thank you so much for your order. Hey, by the way, here's a 5-day trial of these products so that you can try. And it's like, they feel so excited. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did this. I actually did this with a top earner the other day. She got on $150 in products, and I sent her like $10 worth of our energy drinks. And she's like, you don't have to spend your money on that. I was like, honey, hello. Like, I made a commission, but also I want you to feel your best. And so taking care of your customers is huge. So here's what I want you guys to begin thinking of when you're getting your customers. It is now a new funnel. Expose, involve, and upgrade. Okay, type that in the chat. Expose, involve, and upgrade. So what this means, guys, is that as you are exposing your new prospects, you're exposing them to the products, you're involving them in some sort of probably community. We use a Facebook group, has tens of thousands of people. You can involve them onto a podcast. You could involve them through more samples. You could involve them into listening to a presentation, like any of that sort of stuff, right? So expose, involve, and upgrade. That is what I want you guys to do. And then the upgrade part is to the distributor. So let me give you guys the script. And it's a little long, so I'm going to give it to you in a few parts. But this is important, and don't worry, I can even post it in the group in like a little separate post in Facebook so you guys get it, okay? So first thing is, hey, first name, hey, Diane, hey, Sam, hey, Sally. I wanted to ask you a quick question. I know you're loving the products. Like, I know you're loving the skincare. I know you're loving the weight loss. I know you're loving blah, blah, blah. And you've been super satisfied so far. Question, have you ever thought about upgrading to a distributor and referring a few people so you get your products paid for each and every single month, or at least making a dent? Have you ever thought about it, right? The next part that I say is, so again, hey, Sally, want to ask you a quick question. I know you're like, man, your transformation's amazing. Look how much weight you've lost. Think about how much better you feel. Have you ever thought, and you might even say like, man, you're really good at social media. Have you ever thought about upgrading to a distributor and referring to people to like never pay for your products again? Have you ever thought about that? And then the next phase I like to say, you also get other benefits. You know, becoming a distributor, you can write off your auto ship or your subscription. So every month on your taxes, when you're a customer of a company, you can't write off the products, right? I mean, there might be certain instances, but in general, our customers can't write off their auto ships. But as a distributor, every country is a little different. Check with your CPA. My CPA allows me to write off my subscription because it's cost of goods, COG. So I tell my customer this, like, hey, you're spending $150 a month. You can write them off now. There's some other tax stuff that you might be able to qualify for. And this is huge if they're W-2. I have converted so many raving customers to distributors. I've enrolled about 120 people in the last 8 months. I've been in my business for 6.5 years. I'm enrolling about 2 to 4 people a week. And I'll tell you guys, I've upgraded so many customers to distributors. They were raving fans. They love the products because I said, listen, there's tax benefits here. And if you refer a couple people every month, like, your products are paid for. Doesn't that make sense? Next part of the script. Hey, if not, that's cool. No worries at all. So it gives you that sense that you're not being aggressive or salesy, right? If you guys like this, say, I like it. Say, I like it in the chat. And you can say, hey, Diane, I was just thinking of you. And I thought me and Diane would be so great at this if she just put a modest effort into sharing her excitement for the products. What do you think, Diane? Like, do you want to go maybe a little further down the rabbit hole to see what this would look like? Or sometimes I say, do you want to have a professional conversation about it? And here's what you guys want to do next. So you guys have this script. Hey, I know you're loving it. Have you ever considered? There's all these benefits, tax benefits. You could get your product paid for. There's all these additional little things. If not, no worries. I think you'd be great at it. But do you want to take a look? Do you want to take a look? Here's what you do next. You get them in front of a business tool. If they say yes, they say, hey, yeah, I thought about it. In fact, yeah, I actually started talking about it with my mom or my aunt or some girlfriends at work or my buddies in the basketball league. What you want to do, guys, is you want to get them in front of a business tool. So an overview, probably maybe something that shows like the comp plan or business presentation, and then maybe even getting them in front of a business partner or stories. Like, we have a giant Facebook group with thousands of stories that they can see the third-party validation. And if it's a no, you can always ask for referrals. Like, hey, well, since you don't want to do it, great. Do you know anybody? Because I build my business by referrals that would also love these products. You don't have to do any of the work, but would you give me their name and number and tell them that I'm going to give them a call? That's a little extra bonus script for you guys there. So Coach, Rob, that's what I have for you guys here today. It's just having the cojones to go to the customer and say, hey, I know you're loving it. Have you ever thought about it? And it's been amazing for me. I would say that if I look at my distributors, Rob, I would say over half started as customers. So it's a big lead gen for me. I get them in, I get them loving the products, and then I upgrade them through the plan.
What do you feel like the biggest objection or hang up people have that you've worked with for not doing this, for not reaching out to customers?
The number one thing I get is people say, I don't have a following like you do. And so what I have is I've actually developed scripts. We use an app called Boards. And so we have scripts of those objections. And so, like, I don't know if I could do what you do. And we actually have stories of people on our team that didn't have a following or had never done this before, and the results that they've made on the team. So it's like, hey, yeah, I totally understand. I can understand where you're coming from. Let me tell you about somebody on the team that didn't have an Instagram account, and they got started. They followed our simple system. They used our simple funnel. They used this tool, and now they're making $500 a month. Or their first month, they made $1,234 or whatever. And so I just tell a story, but that's the biggest one. It's like, I don't know if I can do what you do. I'm like, great. I understand that it might look a little crazy because I have hundreds of thousands of followers. But let me tell you about my mom who barely knows how to use Facebook and Instagram and makes 6 figures at 67 years old.
Yeah. And I think that's powerful because the gold mine is in the customers. Yes, the retention's better. Yes, like they have a more powerful story when they're doing this as a business. Yes, many of them, like if they love the product anyways, they're going to tell people about it. And we just are so afraid to ask that we move away from the gold mine trying to find a gold mine, right? When it's just sitting there in front of you.
It's like, it is the customer gold mine. Like, I'm telling you that how many of you guys go to the chat, you've enrolled at least 10 customers ever in your business? Guys, how many of you have enrolled 20, 30? I have people, Rob, in my team that have enrolled 100, 200, You know, Erica, she's enrolled 600 plus customers in our company. And it's literally their contact management system. Their prospect list, in part, is their customer genealogy. So, you know, Debbie, I'm looking at David, Lena, Philippa, Michelle, Philippa, right? Philippa's a big customer gather. Print out your customer genealogy, and that's your warm market list. That's your gold mine. And use this script, and y'all are going to have your biggest April ever.
Yeah. Well, we love the energy. It's so absolutely incredible. And thank you so much, sister, friend.
My true brother. My favorite brother.
Oh, that's how we're gonna do this now. Okay. Look, see what I just got in the middle of both of you.
Well,
See what I
here's,
did?
I'm glad that you guys knew to wear the black shirt today, though.
Yeah,
I'm glad to see this is how you can tell we are the siblings in this. That we all got the memo to wear black because that's what true family members do.
Guys, show Rachel some love, guys. Seriously, in the comments, they were going nuts. So good.
She's just so you guys all know, she's gonna drop in as well a post and give you guys some of the wording to use. Like, does anybody have any aha moments, wording that you're just like, this is just mind blowing? Like, I can make that. Like, I gave you the analogy earlier. You're on a 103.3 and it's like pure static and you can't hear anything, right? And all of a sudden you go to 103.5 and the music is crystal clear and it's amazing. Some of you are just a couple fine tunes away because all of a sudden now you start having a little better results and your confidence is a little bit better. You start rank advancing. Now all of a sudden you got more credibility and everything you do becomes better and better as you go. So it's so fun and phenomenal to see. We're going to talk about this incredible book that just launched today. If you're watching the live, if you're watching the replay, that's okay. You still got incredible, phenomenal content. So a couple things with the book. With it, you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it up. I got it right here. I'm not going to show you it. Okay. You're going to be able to see it here in a second, but I'm going to pull it up here. So here are some of the topics that we cover that we spent a good deal of research and time on. I'm just going to go to the table of contents. How about that? Direct versus indirect. All of these have a whole section that cover like what to say and the principle behind it and why we say it. The split testing method, how to taproot. That's the art of sponsoring a circle of influence because distributors sponsor other distributors, whereas leaders know how to sponsor circles of influence. Section 2. First interactions and invites. So we talk about someone you haven't spoken to in years. I don't know. What do I say? How do I say it? Why do I say it? First interaction with a stranger. First interaction with family and friends. First interaction with neighbor, coworker. Someone with way more credibility than you. I mean, look how specific we're getting. Three-way chats. We've got the incredible formula from Coach Brian Fryer, the 137 formula. We've got the 24 follow-up after the first invite, the 24-hour follow-up with a stranger, 24-hour follow-up with someone with more credibility than you, 24 follow-up with people you know. The ghosting follow-up. I mean, we're getting crazy specific here. Follow-up for years. How to do that the right way so you're not annoying. How to ask for a referral. Upsell from customer to affiliate. I'm not done yet. We covered the objections. No money. Scripts for no time. When someone says that, I don't know anyone. I have to think about it. I have to talk to, right? Fill in the blank someone. If it's a pyramid scheme, we talk about the Phil Felt Found. We talked about closing. Then we go through all the social media strategies. Are you guys following with me? And I've got a list here of like 8 different things for social media strategies, like your journey posts, how to stay consistent, curiosity posts, new friend requests, influencer, Facebook and IG stories, Facebook follow-ups, using direct to sell, booking appointments. I mean, are you kidding me? On and on and on. Like, this is no fluff, practical. And then the great part about it is for those that decide, once you get the book, you'll see the option of doing a 4-week session with us where we can actually like hold your hand and do this with you to make those fine tunes in real time. That's so key and critical for you guys to understand. So I'm just excited. I'm fired up. This has been a long time coming. Behind the scenes, so you guys know, I started this book. I got stuck on this book. And then after that, I'm just like, I need this legend, Coach Fryer, to come in and his brain and his expertise. And he came in and, oh man, just made all the difference. And the book went from, it could be kind of good to absolutely incredible. So grateful for him. And I know you got some thoughts on that. And I'll let you introduce our next speaker, my man.
Yeah, Rob. I'm so fired up. Everyone's asking about the the link to the book. We just put it up here on the screen for you guys. If there's a broken link issue or anything like that, we'll take care of you. Don't worry, guys. We got your back. But we're so, first of all, honored and grateful for each and every one of you, being a part of this event. And I mean, the value that's been shared from all these speakers has been absolutely incredible. And again, Rob and I are just super, super honored to have each and every one of you here. And a big shout out to all the speakers again on all the value that they've contributed over the last, hour plus so far. I mean, we're rocking and rolling. So we're going to do our very best. Here, we're going to try something out here. See if I can make this work. We're going to try a little something technical. See if this will actually work. I don't know. Might need to stall for just a second, Mr. Rob, while I try to upload this up into the presenter area. Let's see what we got here.
Technology.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's our favorite. It's our favorite thing.
Yeah. Well, if it comes up, we'll have it start right away. Have them start. If not, then we'll just keep going and plug along and probably finish this up because we've got fun technology issues as all of you guys go. But remember,